The topics discussed and the information provided on this program is for general information. The hosts of this show are not medical professionals and are expressing their personal views and stories related to their individual lives. Their views are not intended to be used or taken as medical information. If you or a family member have suffered a traumatic brain injury, you should seek help from a practicing licensed physician.
We hope to help you. We want you to know that there's some life after the hurt.
Hi.
Hello. So how you doing, Matt? We're welcome to Brain Injury. We're the brain mechanics. Today we're going to get into not the weeds, we're into the snow and the gray skies and the holidays and our relatives, who some of them are dumb, fill in the blank, and some of them are smart, fill in the blank. So we have these challenges going on every day, and it makes us feel not so bad. I mean, don't feel good about ourselves. Today we're going to go through some of the things that we hope that you will consider to make the world a better place and actually enjoy life and become part of the family. We're here at the Brain Mechanics family, and we also have Brain Injury Radio, which is available to you. We're hoping that you'll consider those, and we can't do any of this without our host today, Matt Duffin. How you doing?
I'm still on the brain injured side of life, but I'm okay.
Yeah, yeah. And
they tell me that ain't ever going to go away. I don't believe them, but so far they're right.
We can hope, can we not?
Yeah, hope and realistic belief is what got me here.
Yeah, exactly.
I came from a trauma surgeon, Dr. Scott Bierke, who had to put down his Big Mac to come and work on me for the next 7 days. He was a great man. Lots of money. Invested in saving a person's life. And that's a topic, as we're just talking today, we could talk about the insurance prices and this, that, and the other.
Well, but those kind of focuses, man, and that's one of the things that we experienced. My wife, of course, a victim of a crime and traumatic brain injury, and I remember getting the first $28,000 bill from the hospital. They did a great job, don't get me wrong, but I'm not used to getting $28,000 bills on one sheet. And those kind of things, whether brain injured or not, can certainly feel very, very, very overwhelming. And here we are, while this show is being taped, we're in the holiday season, the beginning of Christmas, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and then the New Year's. And I don't know about your family, but I think this is reflective of many families. You've got the smart A's and the dumb A's, and that seems to be you've got everybody's family's got somebody like that. And what I want to ask you to do today is to consider being part of the brain injury family, finding a new purpose, a new direction in life. It's not over, and you're not as bad as you think. I mean, come on, look at what our host is doing.
The only thing
terribly injured.
The only thing you can really do to us is fire us. If you don't want to walk beside us and do the things with us, and think about this. You just lost your total brain, your whole function. You're laying there. It ain't coming back overnight.
Nope.
And it comes in bits, it comes in pieces. And the pieces don't always fit together at all. And still, as you learn life, total amnesia. Yeah, but I have reflections. People ask me, don't that bother you? You don't remember your life. I said, well, I remember it in time. What do you want to talk about? Let's
in chunks is the
bring
way
some back.
my experience. But
like anybody, we have the same problems any other normal, regular human being has.
Wait a minute. I want you to reflect on that for a minute, okay, guys? This is important. Anybody who's out there on Facebook telling you how great their life is, is lying. I'm sorry. It's not exactly like everybody has up moments and they have down moments, okay? That's the way life is. You have these incredible things, and sometimes it's just, the day getting up and being able to breathe air again. You've actually been given a gift, guys. A lot of your, whatever it was that you did in the past that embarrassed you or whatever, many of those have just gone away. You don't have that history.
Or it doesn't bother you.
Yeah, or it doesn't bother you at all. And so
a different type of pride.
Matt here, I'm inspired by him because of what he's done to reach out to those that are brain injured and let them know, hey, not that it's okay, but it is okay, but that there's a future. There's something else out there. So don't get, in this season, especially around here in Indiana, you got what I call the Hoosier blue skies, which is a roughly battleship gray, and you've got a day that's neither cold nor warm. It's just, you've got all these things going on in the holidays, and where are you going to be, or I don't have a family to be with. Please, back up from those troubles. There's families to belong to that maybe aren't just your family. And Matt has done this. He's reached out. He's pretty much alone, but he's not alone anymore because he has a following here both on Brain Mechanics and a following on Brain Injury Radio.
The Matt Duffin Show.
Yeah.
Anyway, here, to write down the numbers, whatever you got to do.
Right.
We're 7 nights a week. Somebody that is hosting this show has had a brain injury. Mm-hmm. They've had a tumor. They've had a AB or a TBI. Mm-hmm. Strokes. Whatever kind of foundation came from their brain injury, they're still human beings. They can still talk. Maybe they can't talk as well, but they walk a lot better than me. There's this, that, and the other, and yeah, you have to repiece it together. And the people that don't want to repiece it together with you, you don't need them around you.
No, and it's difficult for you to discern that. But what a good start is with these two programs, the Brain Mechanics and the Brain Injury Radio, because as Matt said, he's on Sunday night, so usually, but there are podcasts of the show that you can look up and that sort of thing on the internet, or have someone look them up for you. But you'll be surprised. You won't feel bad about yourself after you hear about some of the other people and the challenges that they've had.
And the success that they've made from it.
Yes, and exactly. And that's what Matt is reflecting on and showing us here.
Well, if you've met some of them, Mahlon used to help me on the radio or they have a show. You meet people, you talk to them, and they've taken your advice.
Yes.
Or your suggestion, or, damn it, go do it.
Yeah.
But, they go do it. And they call back, and it's just like,
I did it.
I found this happened. And there's 4 or 5 other people that's listening. They don't have to call, or 19,000 more listening. Mm-hmm. I don't care. Mm-hmm. We have a worldwide audience of over 100,000 people that listen in at times.
It's an incredible thing that we have available for you. And what I want you to, it's one thing to go see the Grand Canyon, it's another to go up and get to the edge and think about taking one more step, okay? Go see the Grand Canyon, but don't take that last step. We want you to come back and be part with us, okay? We're here for you. And it's not just the brain injured, the caregivers, yes, they may be different acting people than they were before. It's going to be a challenge. It's not going to be easy, okay?
No.
But you have to have patience, a trust in God, literally, pray a little bit, contemplate, don't anger.
Well, that's what...
But be there.
We're making this into our support group. This is the Eastern Indiana.
Yep.
We're the first one. We created this years ago together. Joni Goins, we sit and just had meetings, and John Hyatt. And we had good groupage, but it split away. I didn't have enough people in the group, so I just hold it at the Milton Christian Church. Now when people want to show up, we can get access to it. So
it's inside, it's warmed, it's handicapped equipped, and so on, elevators and so on. But
in summer we can sit out in a gazebo too.
Oh, cool.
I've done it.
Yeah, that's neat, the gazebos. But anyway, you have family here, okay? I don't want you to think that you're alone during the holiday season or any time, because it can come on you. I mean, it's Friday and people are telling you on Facebook what a wonderful life they've got.
You know?
Yeah, no. No one lies on the internet, right? No. So what I'm saying is, don't let these things where you look at the idyllic lives that are somewhere else that other people are having and you're not having them. No, that's not the way it really is. Everybody has problems and everybody can have successes. We want to be with you and help you to be those successes.
Even the families are working really hard and trying to understand. And if they're doing the outpatient support groups, the best they can, they still got their regular, they might have 4 other kids in the house.
Yep.
You know, everybody's doing what they can do, but you're not talking to other people that's been in the same shoes like you are right now to me, or right now to him as a caregiver. You know, his lovely wife, all but killed, you know, murdered. But like me, we're back. That don't mean for life. You know, we're not Jesus. We're not staying around forever. There's that kind of reincarnation, but
no,
it goes back to Dr. Bierke. People like that, they can put you together.
But look at your second chance. What you're doing now versus what you were doing before.
Nothing what I...
Yeah, no, Matt was not a perfect person. It's hard to believe, but he wasn't. Neither was I. And the thing is that we've reached in and found those parts inside us that actually can help other people. And it's incredible, okay? And you're going to see a number at the bottom of your screen. That's actually Matt's cell phone. Now, Matt's not good about taking messages, auditory, but if you'll text him at that number, and we can start establishing a rapport, hopefully get together. But what I want you to...
Or if they call me and I can see where their number is.
Yeah, we just don't want you to get depressed. Okay, whether it's the holidays or any time else. But like I said, you're going to have people telling you out there, and I'm doing my imitation. Where's my phone? There's my phone. You know, and they're on the phone. They're telling you how happy they are and how their life is wonderful. And and it never rains here, but everything's green. No, that's not
right. Well, for instance, you know, a member of our support group passed away here recently. In the interfaith apartment fire. I happen to know Andrew. He was from Winchester area originally. Was in an accident and got a traumatic brain injury. And somehow he was in the Gary, Chicago area with his family. They ended up getting him down here, closer to Winchester, put him in interfaith apartments, and he lived there. He was so lonely and so bored. That's one of the things about not all these assisted living centers and homes for people, I think, are totally safe, because somebody fell asleep with a cigarette or something burnt in Andrews. That was the finding. I don't know. But, you know, it caused a fire. And sadly, 2 people died. But you know how bad it could have been?
Could have been worse.
Oh, I mean, you have a lot of these handicapped people, you know, they got 6, 7 floors of, I don't know. And that's just here in Richmond, Indiana.
But,
you know, there's nothing to say that in Newcastle, a group home where you got 7 or 8 people living in a big group home, one of them might be trying to sneak a cigarette at night. Nobody knows it.
I want you guys to reflect on how deeply touched Matt. I mean, what we're doing here is genuine. We're not actors. We don't get paid for this. There's nothing going on here, okay? Matt's genuinely touched by the loss of his friend because it is a loss to him. And we care about you. We're not BSing here. We're not making stuff up. We're not trying to make it all better now. You know, this is for the show. No. We're like this here, and we're like this not here. And what Matt has done here by creating the brain mechanics and the brain injury radio support group and the East Central Indiana brain injury support group, and like I said, the numbers there across, that's his personal number. Call or text him, and you know, let's get together. And during this time of the holidays, when it's really, really tough, I mean, it's really tough for people who don't have brain injury. Trust me, you know. You didn't get invited to a Thanksgiving dinner anywhere. Well, how about serving dinner someplace? how about helping out? And maybe you can wash dishes, so who knows, at a church or whatever, to help people out. Maybe you're able to drive and someone else isn't. You could drive them around to meet
walk them into the church.
Walk them into, thank you, yeah.
Somewhere like that.
But this is all genuine here.
All the nursing homes where people just need a high.
Nursing homes. Consider going to a nursing home and just seeing people. There are a lot of people that are there. What my point is stop being sad for just a moment. We need you now, okay? Yeah, I'm going to use a bad analogy, but it's like in war where a man is badly wounded and he does all these gallant things and he doesn't even notice how badly hurt he is until someone says, after the whole thing's over, "Hey, Sarge, you look pretty rough. What happened?" And it's like, I don't know. I want you to get mentally past where you say, "I can't do that, I can't help, there's nothing I can do." That's not true. It might be just a little simple thing. Maybe it's assembling a toy or something. Maybe it's watching or helping a kid draw. I mean, it could be anything.
Right.
But please.
As you knew my father, Woodrow Duffin.
Yep.
I personally think he was a great man. He was an American hero, decorated. He didn't care. You wouldn't see him at a veterans parade unless he wanted to see somebody walking down the street with somebody
else walking down this.
He didn't. He'd talk about to you if you wanted to talk. He was on the USS Pearl Harbor. He was on the USS California at Pearl Harbor. It was 2 days after he turned 20 years old, and he was born in the hillsides in the ravines of the Mississippi River in Indiana.
Yep, southern Indiana.
My grandma didn't even know for a week that he'd even been in an attack or anybody had happened. Of course, word didn't know that he had died. He was percussed. He's first brain injured man I knew, and nobody in the world knew he was brain injured. He was smart, book smart.
Yep.
Read, drove himself to do this. I didn't find all this out until after my brain injury, and he was my personal one-on-one caregiver. And he shared so much information to me and many people alike. He understood baseball. He shared with me that there was 4 or 5 hours that if this happened at that time, and this is when I remember getting to that part, well, hell, it was noon, and it was 8:10 or whatever it was in the morning that they took the hit on the California. Just when he realized that he lost and he'd been percussed, and of course he was in the Navy hospital. And it was almost like out of that movie Pearl Harbor. I mean, there was guys with Coke bottles, blood coming in them, trying to do what they can do to make everybody survive.
Right.
So there was a Marine beside him. His skin was pulling off of him. He said, dang Marine, all he could do was flirt with that nurse. And he decided that he needed to get out of there.
Yeah, out of the hospital.
Yeah, he was okay. He needed to get out of there. They didn't really mind. He was okay. He wasn't accounted for, that kind of thing. He was at a base hospital or whatever was left at Pearl Harbor.
Yep.
Belonging to one of the ships, one of the thousands that sunk and people.
We can't even imagine that day. But now let's reflect for a minute what Woodrow Duffin did that day, and thousands of other men and women. They didn't wring their hands. They didn't give up. They ran to their battle stations, burnt and scarred and wounded. They knew before anybody else in the country knew that we were at war. And they gave it their all. And Woody, as I call him, went on to, 16 battle stars?
Yeah.
He had a Purple Heart, and there was something else there, if I recall.
The red ribbon for Red Cross, for saving
other men.
7 of the 18 of them that was in there.
Yep.
If it wasn't for him simply walking, swimming around in the oil.
Yeah.
I'm laughing because we thought it was funny. He's found something to bang. He's banging on a hatch that he couldn't get open, and they could hear something on there.
He was a signalman, was he not?
Yeah,
he was doing this in Morse code. It would have been doing it in
SOS.
code. SOS.
He was just looking for things,
They're trapped under the ship. They're sealed in the ship. So imagine we're thinking
with
about
water and oil pouring in, and you're going to be dead within. You're going to be like your buddies were in the next 3 minutes or 5 minutes because you can't stop the flow of water.
But he kept signaling, and what we want you to do is we want you to signal to us, okay? We want the story of Pearl Harbor and Woodrow Duffin to be an inspiration. We want the story of Matt Duffin and what he's doing here to be an inspiration. We believe in you. As a caretaker, Mahlon Whitaker, I want you to be successful. I want you to thrive, okay? Is it going to be exactly like it was? Probably not.
It's a drive.
You might actually be better because you can put all that old stuff behind you and just, whatever you couldn't stay away from the drinks or the drugs or something. Something happened to you. You couldn't slow the car down to a normal speed limit, whatever, okay? I want you to think about this, how great you can be, okay? I want you to not be afraid of being great and being helpful.
Being a person.
Yes.
Being a person, a human being, what God intended you to be.
It's that simple, isn't it, man?
Or whoever, whatever your spirit is, I'm not into that part.
Yeah.
I'm into what makes you drive to stay alive and thrive, to make the fellow man better as you have it, as we try to do to our kids. That's called progress.
Yeah.
And I had to relearn all that. Thank you, John Hyatt. But I had to learn all.
Well, Tanya,
It comes back. It's not like you're learning it again, but you're beginning to understand it again. Now you're understanding it. Excuse me. Now you're understanding in a different light. Mm-hmm. Because you've been seeing different lights. And there's still ways to be a person.
Yeah, my wife Tanya handled all the finances, and I remember watching as we taught her how to count change again. Mm-hmm. So I don't want you, enough. Now maybe you're not brain injured. Maybe you're bummed. Okay? Stop. Help us. We need you. Okay? The world needs you. Humanity needs you. Okay?
And it's a grateful act, and everybody with a brain injury that I have just about seen or been known of. When it happens, when the call comes in, it happens, and you're 2 or 3 months coming back to where you was, you want your job back. You want to do it again. You want to be raising your kids. You want to do this. Let them do it. Yeah. Like my dad always said, doctors always told me, let him do what he wants to do. Just make sure he's safe.
Yeah.
But make sure they're safe for sure. We're still trying to learn how to, left foot, right,
Mm-hmm.
and get confused in between. So the help has to be there, the reminders. It's really simple. Mm-hmm. The drive to stay alive is where it all comes from.
It is.
And it's not you. You don't quit. You don't commit suicide for criminy. You don't do those things. You know how many people, if you come to me, there's been $8.5 million estimated spent on my recovery in the last 11 years. Mm-hmm. Most of it was front-end loaded, but to live again. And I know it seems like a lot. I guess it was. I don't know. We didn't price shop. We went to the trauma hospital.
You don't get to do that. Like you'd think, yeah.
No.
But that's the thing here. It's the middle of the holidays, at least for us right now, while this is being taped, and you're looking around, and everybody else is doing so much better, and they've got presents and family and everything else, and it's overwhelming. And they're telling you how fantastic their life is. Oh. And I want you to know that we need you here. Okay? Let's say you're an atheist and you don't have any spiritual inclination whatsoever. Fine. Okay? We need your help.
All right.
Okay.
You're a person.
You're a person. You can do something. You can help. Okay. Let's say
I'm not holding against you because you're atheist.
No.
Be a person.
Let's say you're spiritually inclined. Okay. Great. Okay. The good book says you got to help your fellow man. You've got to love your fellow man if you're a Christian. Okay. Be in there. We need you. We want you. If nobody else wants you, we do.
Right. Because that's. I know recently here. They've called a little spike, and I hate talking. I just don't let people do it on my radio show, talk suicide, but we've discussed it. And open up the door a little bit today because don't do it. Again, a lot of people spend a lot of money, a lot of work, a lot of effort, the therapists, the doctors, the on and on, hours and hours of therapy. They put a lot of work into you.
Imagine the investment that Matt, that's the first time I've heard that figure, but, Matt, the investment made in Matt and for him to do nothing. Okay? So I want
That
you.
wouldn't be fair. They don't pay me anymore.
it
I get
wouldn't-
my SSDI. I volunteer everything else I do, so that's with my SSDI. But, you know,
We need you folks, okay? The world needs you, and if not through the East Central Indiana Brain Support Group, Brain Injury Support Group, then your local church, community, volunteer at the parks, help out. There's something you can do. I know it. I know it. And if nothing else, go to a kids game or whatever and sit in the bleachers and pay attention like you care, where the kids are out there trying to
give me a
play
call
ball.
this spring, this summer. I love Little League Baseball. They won't let me umpire no more, dang it. 'Cause I can't decide if that was a ball or strike. But anyway, I love Little
It was too fast for him.
We'll go sit and watch it. I mean, you know, yes. I think you got under the tag. Let me see. Let me think. Is there a replay on that? Oh.
Guys, we love you, and that's a genuine thing. We want you to be part of what we're trying to do here, and whether it's through our groups or whatever, but please be a part of life, okay? It's not over. It's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful life, okay?
Right.
All right.
We're not, I can give you phone numbers to call when it gets to suicide hotlines. Oh, call them. They'll talk to you.
We'll get
they
that and
spend
get it
time.
attached. Yeah, they will talk to you. And call Matt. Now, Matt doesn't answer his phone instantly, and he'll tell you right there. But text him, and let's try and get together, okay? And let's do stuff. Let's be great again. Don't be afraid to show off a little bit and how you're coming back.
No, I do it all the time.
Yeah.
I love my ego. You know?
Yeah.
Thank you, John Hyatt, one more time. I mean,
All right.
that's why you have therapists. That's why you
Merry
work.
Christmas, Happy New Year's, and a Happy New Year and a new start to you all. Love you out there.
And if it's St. Patrick's Day,
Then so be it. If
Ahoy,
you're watching
matey.
on the 4th of July, we don't care.
The topics discussed and the information provided on this program is for general information. The hosts of this show are not medical professionals and are expressing their personal views and stories related to their individual lives. Their views are not intended to be used or taken as medical information. If you or a family member have suffered a traumatic brain injury, you should seek help from a practicing licensed physician.